No, you had actually mentioned that you taught English to Thailand to some people
Yeah,
over there.
I went. So when I was around about like 18,
Mm-hmm.
actually, 18, I went to Thailand in order to teach English.
Okay.
Because I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life at that stage. So my parents were like, "Here, just go do something other than nothing." And I was like, "Okay, I go do something." And then so I went over there, taught English. Beautiful, beautiful country. Um, Especially their beaches. Their beaches are amazing. The islands, lovely. The only issue I had with Thailand is it is humid. It is so humid, a different type of
Just
humid than I've
sticky
ever
and
had to
wet.
experience.
Yeah.
No, no, it's
No.
not just wet, the humidity in the air. So when it was hot and it felt um like 33 degrees Celsius, for instance, it would rather feel with the humidity, it would feel like 40 degrees Celsius, for instance.
Oh wow.
And it's just that it was just such a hot country in general and so on. Even when it rained, it wasn't like cold rain. It was hot rain. Their winters aren't necessarily cold. It's kind of hot still. Most of the clothing I wore there during that time was like super thin clothing. Other than obviously if you go into a mall or anything like that, the AC is blasting in those malls, and then you want to put a jacket on, that's for sure. But aside from that, no, look, that it was an amazing experience. I'm super grateful for that experience. I met a lot of people on that
How
side
long
of the
were you out
world.
there for?
I was out there for about 6 months,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then I came back because of like health reasons.
Okay.
Because like a lot of like the stuff that they were doing at the schools, and at that time I wasn't mature enough in order to take all that responsibilities. They were just throwing more and more responsibilities onto me,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
wasn't ready for that mentally and maturely wise and so on. So my parents were like, no, we're just gonna rather bring you back. We can see this is affecting your health and everything like that, which it was.
Right.
And I came back. But the most fortunate thing, or the most grateful thing I have for that and so on, is that I came back like prior to like you say about a month or two before my grandfather passed away. So that I'm super grateful for actually that all panned out in that way, that I was able to at least see him one more time before he passed away and everything like that, which I'm super grateful for.
Yeah.
Um,
That's amazing. That's
yeah,
amazing.
no, it's been an experience. Life has been an experience, but I think that's why it's so easy for me to talk with people, to talk about things, or hear their story, or be able to communicate with them in a different way that is beneficial for them. Like if they're not in a right space of mind, or they're not in a right place at that time, I can help them in a certain way, and which I've done a lot of the time right now, or over the years and so on, is help people out in those kind of situations, because
Mm-hmm.
people need help, and
Yeah. Yeah.
if people don't see it, or they aren't heard and so on, that they're left to their own destruction, and I don't want that for people. That's why I encourage people to like talk about these things and so on, and I'm more than willing to talk with people about these things, because I want them to be in a better place than what they previously were, basically.
Yes. I'm really glad that you actually brought up mental health and things like that. I've always been a big person. Um, that loves making sure everybody's okay, asking how they're doing, and that's really good to know that you're the same way. And I think there's a lot of people in this community that we care about the well-being of others, and Final Frontier, create change, right? This is real. Like, we really gotta take care of each other if we're all passionate enough to build each other up, build big things together, talk to each other. We gotta always ask that question, like, hey, you doing all right? Like, you doing okay? Like, did you have a good week? Did you have a good day? Anything bothering you? And obviously you have to build a relationship before you get too deep with somebody. And
Mm,
not everybody's just going to lay all their cards out on the table, but it's about building those relationships, because you never know when somebody might go through something and they wish they would have had that relationship built, or you wish you would have had that relationship built with somebody, because you see them going through it and you wish you could have helped them, right? So
Yeah,
just everybody just being really cool with each other, and making sure that they check on others is always strongly important. Yeah.
it's we're humans at the end of the day. There is an aspect within the humanity that's greed and everything like that, but at the end of the day, for my side of things and so on, I want I want other people to have a better life than what they could ever possibly think they're having, and if I can contribute to that and have an impact on that for their life, I'm more than willing to spend oodles of time assisting in any way I possibly can, basically, which I think is
Yeah.
like the right thing to go about it.
It is. It is the right way to go about it. It's just super important. Um,
Yeah.
super, super, super important. So one last thing I did want to touch on this
Yeah.
is your accent. You had mentioned a little bit to me about that you actually kind of picked it up from gaming. And did I
Yeah.
catch that right?
So yeah, so so I know like the accent itself sounds like similar American and some like British sections of it and so on,
Yeah, it's like
but
a
it
blend.
all
Yep.
came, yeah, it all came from basically playing in the communities that were overseas. Because for a game that I played for many years, which was Ark Survival Evolved, I played on those official servers, and there I played like what 1,200, 1,400 hours worth of game time with only Americans. And in so doing, I picked up on their accent and the way I talk and everything like that. Oh, you must see it. It's a phenomenon when my mom has like a food trailer that she sells gourmet burgers out of and so on, and she loves it. That's her thing and so on. But she sometimes uses me for front office because I remember faces very well because I'm a right brain person. Um, so I remember faces very well, so I can remember all these people's faces. And when they come to the front to order what they want and everything like that, and I'm like, "How can I help you today?" And then I start taking their orders and things like that. They're like, "Where are you from? Are you local?" And then I'm like, "Yeah, sorry, I am local." And then I start talking like Afrikaans a bit and everything like that to them, and then they're like, "Ah, okay." And then I just explain, like, I kind of got it through doing gaming.
Yeah. That's
And then
an
they're like,
awesome way to say it too, right? Like it's not
exactly.
it's not the common thing, but it's cool.
It's something that's happened to me. But
Yeah.
the accent
Yeah, go
itself
on,
and
yeah.
everything like that, sometimes I know a lot of I've been hit up on Twitter a lot of the times, and even like on the YouTube channel saying, like South Africans, they like seeing me on like the YouTube, and they're like, "Oh, you're in this as well," and everything like that. "Oh yeah, you go, Boyki." And then it's like I'm like, "Yes, yes, I'm doing this." It's so cool to see.
Yeah, it is really cool to see. And I mean, literally, we were just talking about that, communicating with people from all over the world through another game. So here it's happening again to you, right? um,
Exactly.
it's kind of funny how life, they always say, it's history repeats itself. Here we are again, but this time it's super super cool. It's
I
spaceships.
know, right?
Yeah,
It's next level.
it's next level.